This one now will go to database. So the user will enter details in the form. The form will be submitted to PHP. Then PHP will successfully save and connect it to database for storage. Now I start with how we create a database. Before I continue with creating it, I will need a database and I need to know its name. The name I will give my database. Maybe I will call it login system, or I can call it any name. Let us call it system alone. You can call it system. So this is the database name. I'll call it system. Then in this, I need the table. The table, I'll call this table users. Users. This table will store the details for users. We'll store the username, we'll store the email, and the password. The table will store, and the table is inside the database. So the table name will be users, and the database will be system. Then after that, now I will create a HTML file, and also create PHP file. This one, I will create them inside XAMPP htdocs. That's where I will create a folder for the database and have this HTML file and the PHP file. That's where they will go. We come to browser. Just master these steps. We come to browser. Then we search localhost phpMyAdmin. This one here. So I take it. While doing this, you don't need internet. But for me, I'm online because I'm conducting an online class. So you don't need network. You do them offline. Because your server is here as a XAMPP. So let us wait for it to load. After loading, it will give us something like this. A page like this after loading. So they are taking time to load, but no problem. So after they open, after that tab opens, it will open somewhere like this one. You will find something. After opening phpMyAdmin, you will come and click here under new. Here you can see we are being told create database. Database name. We have said we will call our database, which name? System. System. Then we create. We press here, create. Database system has been created. So after being created, now we have our database. We will see it here. System, we can see it here. Umeiona? So we come here under structure. It's now telling us create new table. How many columns do you need? I will need 4 columns. Reason to say 4. Let's come here. Here you can see I'm having 3. Username, email, and password. But now, each table needs to be unique, needs to be uniquely identified. So I will have user, remember user, we can say user 1, user 2, user 3, user 4. How will we understand that these users are different? So we need to have an ID, but the user doesn't enter it, but it is automatically created to identify them in the system. So I will say I need 4 columns for that of ID. So I'll say table name, I'll call it users. Then I'll say create. After coming here on create, this one I've said is the one that I will use ID. For ID, this is the name of that column. Then type, it will be an integer, a whole number. Then length, I need at least maybe 12 letters, 11 letters, not letters, but 1, 2, 3. Zikienda sana zikuwe 1, 1 up to 10. This is the 10 digits. Then for default, I don't need any default. I just leave it. I don't need any default. Then I will come all the way. Then I will come, is it attributes? Yeah, under attributes, I will say it's unsigned. Then here, this one it's auto increment. Auto increment, remember we did increment. Increment means add with 1, increase with 1. So if it starts at 1, next will be 2, next 3, next 4, it's adding 1. So I'll tell it to auto increment. So user 1, tukiadd another user automatically, user 2. And it should be a primary. Primary means uniquely identifies that record. The record is now the user. So tukisema user 1, whatever it's there belongs to that person. Nothing else to put on the other parts. Then we come to 2. We need the username. Username. If we come here, now username cannot be a whole number because all numbers are 1, 2, 3 onwards. Username, it's a variable character, varchar. Because the username can contain maybe rx at Halloween. So that one, it's a mixture. That's why we call it a variable character. So username, we shall give it to carry a maximum characters. Like the term Lucy has 4 characters. So we need a username to carry maximum maybe 100 or 50. 50 as the username. Then we come to that one. This is the email. Email also is not a whole number, so it cannot be an integer. We come here and still put it as a variable character. After that, we give it how many characters do we need email to contain? Maybe 100, maximum 100. You cannot exceed 100. Then, email, remember, no one should have an email that resembles another one. So the email should be unique. We put it to be unique. So that tusikue na email mbili zinafanana. Email is unique. Even if we add phone number, still the phone number becomes unique. If we add ID number, still becomes unique. Hakuna mtu anafananisha na mwingine. Then lastly, we have now our password. Password, still it's a variable character because we will mix letters, numbers. special symbols. Then we can give it a maximum of 100. Maximum. So you can put what you want, but maximum of 100. Then with that, we come and save. So if you check here, after doing that, that system, we have our users here. This is our users. If you want to edit anything, you can come and edit here. If you want to remove maybe one column there, uliweka by mistake, to remove it, you drop it. Though this one we will be doing in advance, whereby we shall be using commands to command what we need. We will not be creating manually like the way I'm doing here. We'll be using commands. So there is nothing to edit there. So we move away because now we have our database by the name system and having a first table by the name users. If we need to have another table for storage, we can add, but for now, we will do with this only one table. We walk away from there. We come now. We have created the database. And the database was containing the table. We have created it. Now we need to create these two files, the HTML file and the PHP file. We use the code editor, but now we said that your project must appear in htdocs. In htdocs, that's where we are supposed to place it. So we will come as usual. We come here to File Explorer or this PC. Remember the name of the database that we have given is the same name we will give our folder that will be inside htdocs. So we will come to local disk C. We come to XAMPP, htdocs. Then inside htdocs, we will create a new folder and we will give it same name, the name that we have given the database. We will call it system. After that, inside this system, that's where we will place, inside our system, we will place now these two files, the HTML file and the PHP file. So we will come and open our code editor by the name Visual Studio Code. We open a folder. After opening the folder, our folder was inside local disk C, XAMPP, then htdocs. Then our folder was called system. Here, we select it. We don't open it, we select it. Now we have our folder there. This folder, we need to create now the files. Our first file, we will call it login.html. The login.html. This one will contain this file here, login.html. We'll carry this thing here. The form, login form with the username, email, and password, and the submit button. That's what it will carry. Then we will require another one. We will call it register.php. For the names is for the sake of niwe mwenyewe what you need to call it, and call it depending on the data you are going to put, because you can be having like 100 files in same system. So this one here, the register PHP, is the one that will be saving the details from the form. So let us start with the login.html. I hope everyone can be able to create a form in HTML. Nani hawezi? Tujue where to start. Creating a form in HTML. And even if you don't know, it's not a big process, but it has a lot of lines of code to type. So for me, I usually do them before the session because it will take time to type. So I had put this code somewhere. Let me explain to you how it happens. Then I will paste it here. Yeah. This one. This is how it starts. The doc type. This is document type is HTML. Then HTML uses tags. HTML, we open it. And after all, we close it. Then we have the head. The head is what appears here at the top. After we search what appears, the head. Then inside the head, we shall put a title, user registration. Then we close title. Then we close the head. We start the body. What we want to appear or the form we want to create will be created in between the body tag. So body, you can see it here and it ends here. So after body, we are creating a form whereby we are creating a heading and we call it register. Then form action, register.php. Register.php. This form action, register.php, tells the browser. Browser is this we are using here. This one is the browser. So tells the browser when to send the data. Tells the browser when to send the data. So under form action, it sends, we'll press this button here. After pressing this button here, submit, it will tell the file by the name of PHP that I'm sending data. That is what we have put here, action form. Then label username, we need username to appear. Then required here. Username, it's here. Hivi vile unaona imekaa itapia hivi. Username, it's a label. Then here we need to write something, a text here. And it's a must. That's why we are putting required. Required. Then under email, we will write something under email, which will be, the type will be a text also. And it's a must we put it. Then we will put our password. We'll have name, password, then a gap, which requires us to put password. Then button, submit. And we close the form. We close the form, then we close the body. That is all about that form. So if I copy it now, allow me to copy it because I've explained it to you. I copy it. like this. So if we want to see this form, how it looks like, you obviously know that after creating a form, you come to browser, and then folder name was system, file name is login.html. That is our form. That is a HTML form. So this form, we are supposed to put our details here, then register. This is a button. Now, after pressing this register, it's now when we require the PHP file, because HTML is a front end, works on the browser only here, on displaying things on the browser. But now the PHP is the back end. For example, you go for an interview, so you are given form to fill. You fill the form. After filling, the forms will be taken either by the secretary, then files them and puts them in the cabinet. So you are the user, you fill the form, but after filling doesn't have meaning, because after filling, if it's not taken, that is not an interview. So the secretary takes the file, that form, and file it. After filing, he or she will store it in the cabinet. So the cabinet becomes the database, the secretary, and that the filing process successful through the secretary. Now that is the PHP. And you as the user, you used a form which you are writing on it. The same case applies here. Register, you will put your details here. But now, for registering to be successful, registered, and we see your details, you are registered, we need a PHP file. Now that's when we go to create a PHP file. And it's here, a register.php, this one. So under register.php, also I won't type, let me use what I had. I will explain to you step by step. I will explain it to you. This PHP receives the form data. So hii achana nayo mwanzo, nitakwambia ni ya nini. Require config, I will tell you it's for what purpose. But this is another form we will create. But I will tell you now later what we will use. So leave this one alone. So here, if that part, PHP, it will receive the form data using post. So this is receiving the form. So server request method, it's post. Then what does it use? Username, post, username. Email, post, email. Password, password. Then password hash. This one, PHP secures it before saving. PHP will secure it before saving. Then this one, the SQL, insert this one here. Saves the details into the user table. This one will insert kuweka, and it helps you to save the details into the user table. Then here we can see after inserting what we will insert, the connection among others, password, email. Then here it will execute. What do you need to see? So the PHP, after successful saving the details, it will respond with a success message or an error message. So here, after successfully saving this username, email, and password, it will respond with a successful message, or it will give an error. If you log in with the details that were not there, it will give an error. Then the PHP, you are through with it. So allow me to copy it. So having this, now we require the third form, the third file. That file, we shall call it config.php. This config, it's from the term configure. Why do we need this config PHP? Config, we need it because instead of writing database connection in every file, remember here we have not written any database connection. In every file, you keep on recording. You put database name, password, username. So instead of putting it in every file, now you use the config file to put those details. So even if you change the password, you will only change in a single file. It will save time and make your coding work easy and reduce the errors. The config file. This is database configuration. Remember, we are not connected to database unless we connect. Our project is not connected. Now, we need to connect our system to the database. We come here. You remember of variables? So variable host, it's a local host. Why say local host? If you are using XAMPP by default, the host becomes localhost by default. Then user, if you are using still the XAMPP under MySQL, username or the default user is root, is the default user. Then password, on a default, if you are using XAMPP, it's empty. Then database name, it's now where you put the name that you want. Like this one, you can see it's a user system, but ours, it's only the name system. So database name, here you put. Si mnakumbuka database tuliunda huku? Tukaita system. This is now where we put the name of our database. So this is database configuration, things that are in database. After that, we come to create a connection. Connection. Here we need now to connect. This line here, this one here, creates connection between PHP and MySQL. PHP and MySQL. Remember, MySQL is here. This one. We have started it. So it will create a connection between the PHP and the MySQL. Then, after that, it will check the connection. It will check the connection. If connection, connect error, die, connection failed. So here it will check the connection. If connection, it's connected well, it continues. If it's not connected, it will give a connection error. That is connection failed. So here we are checking the connection. So allow me also to copy it. we have our files there. Config carries the database connection and database configuration. Then the login.html carries our login form and a button for submit or register. This register, it's made successful through register.php. So it's telling the PHP that I'm sending data. This register.php. Then here in register.php, it comes and says require config.php. So it's calling for this configuration instead of writing every time. So we are supposed to copy all this we have done in every form. So instead of copying it, we just call it this way, require config.php. So we have already put the connection on that form. This is the reason I'm telling you, if we want to change, we will only change on config. Only if we want to change the database name or the password, we will only change here on config, but we won't change on the other files. If we change the code, still here, because it's being called, it will automatically change. So there is no repetition and we will not be prone to errors if we change anything. So having this config PHP require, so we are calling this connection, the database connection and the database configuration. Then we have it here. So after that, we will come here to our browser. We have our form here. Then we put our username. We can put John at root. John at Rooty as username, or maybe we can say John Rooty. It's not a must. We put at. Then email, we can put john@gmail.com. Password, I will put, remember password is your secret, but I'll put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's what I've put here. So we come to register. If we register, it's telling us to save your password. No, not now. We don't need to save it. It's giving us a registration successful. This registration successful, it's from the PHP. Remember we said that PHP responds with a success or an error message. So because the connection is okay, nothing is wrong, it will respond with a success message. If we want to add another data, we need to go back there. Then let me add. We add the second person. I'll add now. I have my name, Lucy. Email. I have a lot of emails here. Let me put that one. Then password. Still I'll put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then I will register. And it's telling me registration successful. So we said that the PHP will receive the form data using post method. Then it will hash the password or secure the password before storage or before saving. Then the details will be saved in users table. Remember where we created users? Users we created in phpMyAdmin. That's where we created user table. Then PHP responds with the success or error message. So we will come to here. It's where we created our user. After loading, you can see we already have in our database now, because we are inside our database, we have ID 1, John Nuti, john@gmail.com. The password, remember I put 1, 2, 3 up to 9. You can see what we have here. This is what we are calling securing the password. So even if I enter here, it says the copy password yako, it's secured already. So it has secured it. Then it has added the second person, Lucy, to senyokabe@gmail.com. Then the password. These are the details we have added using this form here. So with that, I can say that is all about database connection. So if you want to create others, kama unahitaji kuunda another form, you come, you create another form, detail.html, then you will create a form here. After creating a form, you will create a table that will receive that data. And that's how you end up having a big system like school management system, where we have tables like teachers, students, dorms, exams, subjects. That's how we end up with a big system. So we can call today our end day of basics in PHP. Unless there are others who have not joined, maybe they can find later. But whoever wants to join advanced
programming,
you will just inbox. Then we will arrange on when to start the advanced
programming,
so that you'll be able to create your own systems. Not even creating your own. In fact, you earn. You create a system, you find a person with a problem, you create the system, you sell to the person.